Now, here's your first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Henry Groff.
Now it is only Monday. You can already feel it. It is going to be a bit of a long week because we are going to be tracking more active weather going into Wednesday all the way through Friday. The main concern is definitely going to be Thursday and Friday for that threat for localized flooding. But we'll get to that in just a moment. As you head out the door, we're looking at some partial clearing. All of that stormy weather from last night moving out of the way, but we're just waiting for that cold front to move through. So we still have that chance for a few showers late this morning, but overall, going to be just a cloudy start to the week. So anywhere between 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock today, that's when we'll see those few showers coming through. After that, that cold front sliding by, and we'll get cold into the overnight hours. But for your Tuesday, we get that sunshine back, so I would recommend really taking advantage of that. And if not, you still have much of Wednesday. But that first round of thunderstorms we're tracking, that could bring in some damaging winds. That's going to be a focus for Wednesday night all the way through early Thursday morning. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on for the middle of the week. But we could still even see some more strong to severe storms on Thursday. Yet again, Storm Prediction Center already still has us in that possible threat for severe weather. But after that, the focus then turns to that heavy rain and flooding threat, because the system that we're keeping an eye on for later in the week, how it starts to set up, keep an eye on the Middle Ohio Valley, where we could just see rounds and rounds of rain coming throughout much of Thursday, and still continuing to see rain all the way into our Friday and even parts of the weekend. So that's why we're going to keep an eye on that active weather towards the end of the week. But for us today, just a few showers and overall cloudy. It will be breezy at times with winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour. And into tonight, jackets definitely needed. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off in the upper 30s. Well, then we will warm back up into the upper 50s for your Tuesday, then into the 70s for Wednesday. But again, keep an eye on that threat for thunderstorms late in the evening and overnight hours. And the next upcoming weekend, there is still more rain in the forecast. It looks like it's going to be a drenched start to April. Now, time to take a look at what's trending.